Hi, it's Rona, and today is Scraplift Crafternoon, a hop that I do every Sunday with some other ladies, and this is the lady that we are scraplifting today. It is Pam Hubbard, and you could see in her layout, I'm showing you again right here, she used some chickens and some little cute, sweet pictures of a little guy with the chickens and on a tractor, and I thought that was great inspiration for me to pull out some chicken pictures. I am also participating with Woodgrain in winter, so you see some scraps of some wood grains that I have here, and I'm going to try and get those used up. I am also using 49&Market Countryside, I believe is the name of the collection. I'm showing you that here. So I'm going to use a few of the 6x9 papers. I have some rub-ons from that collection. I have the washi tape from that collection. And I also am pulling out some of Christmas Spectacular rub-ons, and I'm going to use some of those holly. And then I also pulled out these tags. That's also from Countryside. I found a red one and a green one. Spoiler alert, they are too large and they're not going to work out. I also have the Simple Stories chipboard that matches their wood grains in that same collection, and I am going to try and get some of those on this page. They're a very thin chipboard. So you can see the background page there. That is out of a book that I'm going to do a whole chicken book. My grandson these are my two oldest grandsons, and the oldest really wanted chickens. And so, since Grandma can't say no, we have chickens. Yay! He loves his chickens. He is hilarious, and you know, it's been a great experience, so I'm super glad. I don't regret it at all. I've enjoyed the chickens as well. And so it was totally worth getting, although we have literally spent a fortune building them a giant chicken condominium and, you know, all of the things because, you know, the children keep coming up with things that we need. He actually asked for a game camera to go in the chicken house so he can determine which chickens are laying which eggs. So, of course, he is getting a game camera to go in the chicken house for Christmas from Grandma because, you know, it's what we do, right? So you can see here I have added my washi tape. I love that nice wide washi tape. And I just tear it right in half and add that where Pam has a cluster of florals and leaves. I'm going to make that base over there out of the chicken wire. And now I'm doing some fussy cutting. So I start out with my larger scissors to get the main easier to cut areas, and then where there's some little finicky areas, which are the little hen's feet here, I am going to go ahead and use my Tim Holtz fussy cut scissors to do those. So I'm going to get all of that done. I also, and this, I didn't mention it, but this chicken and the sprigs of wheat there are from Mintay, and I cut away so you didn't have to see all of the fussy cutting, but we got that done. The wagon wheel there is just one that I cut out of that scrap of Simple Stories wood grain that you're seeing over there. I just had a small piece of it, and it was big enough to cut my wagon wheel. I used my Cricut and just typed in wagon wheel, and this one popped up. Well, a lot of them popped up, but I chose this one, and I really like how that looks. There was one part that didn't cut. You saw that. It was because I was using a scrap, but that didn't bother me. I knew it was going to be mostly covered anyway, and so you can't tell that there was any part of that missing. So I find my title actually on the back side of the packaging. The title says It's a Wonderful Life, and then I'm also going to cut out that red, I don't know, I call it a candy cane stripe. And this is on the back side of the Christmas collection. These were from the laser cuts, and you saw me pulling some of the laser cuts out as well. Now I'm going to take my scraps that I have and just cut a few little pieces to go with the on the side of the photos there, just like Pam had. She had several layers of little pieces of paper. So I'm going to do the same. Mine is not going to be very big because I don't have a lot of real estate here. Being this, well, actually this page is 6.5 by 9. I call it a 6 by 9 book that I'm going to use for my chicken book. Because I do have lots of pictures as they've grown, and I kind of want to show the whole progression. We originally got 6 chickens from a friend, and so we didn't have any idea what we were getting. They hatched several in their incubator, and we just went to the farm, and the boys got to pick out. She had several, and we just got to pick out 6 of those. Well, 6 is what we ended up getting because of the first chicken house we had was a tiny little chicken house that we bought from just a farm store here. And then we proceeded to, spend well over $1,000 to build a ginormous chicken condominium for our 6 chickens. But that is another story. Anyway, I'm going to choose some of those rub-ons and get those laid down. I was a little nervous that the rub-ons would not go over the washi. They did great. I have layered rub-ons over paper, over stamped images, over washi, over other rub-ons, and they pretty much work over anything. I have not had any problems rubbing washi or rubbing rub-ons over anything, and I have tried all of it now. So I've also done rub-ons on some wood slices for some Christmas ornaments. I love the rub-ons, that is for sure, and I haven't had any issues other than in some situations you have to rub a little harder, which I did on this, and I don't know that I really needed to because it went fine. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 pictures matted. In the original piece, it looks like Pam had matted and used some frames, and I did not have enough space to do that. So they just get a very thin little mat, and I'm going to go ahead and distress that with my edge distressor. This edge distressor is super, super, super old. It is from Making Memories, and they are no longer in business, but it's still working. And if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that many times I just use my fingernail anyway. It depends on the paper, and if I already have it laid down and adhered to my page, I use my fingernail. If I have a little piece like this, I usually will use my edge distressor because it does make it a little bit, it's a different look either way you do it, and sometimes I want one and sometimes I want the other. So that is what we're doing here. I thought I cut some of that out. I don't know how it happened that it didn't get cut out, but anyway, we have all of that done, and I'm just cleaning up my mess, which again, I thought I had cut out. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I was talking about the chickens. So our original 6 we got from the friend, and these 2 are a part of those 6, and the other 4 were all roosters. So out of our 6, we got 2 hens and 4 roosters. The roosters have all been rehomed, because as they got a little more mature, they ended up being really mean to the boys. And these chickens are here solely for, pet purposes, basically. They do, of course, lay eggs, and we are super excited about that. We have tried to keep roosters every time we've gotten roosters, but they always end up being mean to the boys. I don't know why roosters want to do that, but they do, and so we end up, getting rid of them. Our very last one of this initial group, I had named the rooster Dottie, and she was literally my favorite. She was the sweetest thing ever. Ate out of my hands, let me hold her, him. But she ended up being a rooster, and it was crazy. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't think she looked like a rooster. I couldn't believe how sweet she was, but she she was a rooster, and he did end up getting super mean to the boys, so we gave him to one of my husband's coworkers, and that thing apparently just kept growing and growing and growing, and they actually renamed him to Goliath because he was literally double the size of any of the rest of their chickens. So he is still happily on their farm, also being mean to everyone involved in their farm. So it was a good decision to rehome him. I guess he's a really good rooster and does a great job protecting the hens and takes his job very seriously. So it's all good, but he didn't work out in for our place. But I sure did love that chicken. So I'm adding my rub-ons, and my phone died, so I kind of jumped ahead a little bit here. The rub-ons and a few things are already down, and you saw me adding the pictures straight down to the page. All of the strips are straight down to the page, but I am actually using my 1mm foam tape that I am currently obsessed with to pop up just a couple of little bits. And the reason I'm not using much foam tape on this, because you know how I love my foam tape, this is not going to be in a page protector, and it's going to just be in that little flip book. So I don't want to have it have too many places. I don't really want it to have any places that it's going to catch or bother whatever page is next to it. So I'm trying very hard not to use much foam tape. It's a challenge because I do love me some foam tape, but I like the way this layered up even without much foam tape, and I'm pretty happy with how it is working out. So I've pretty much got most of it in place. I'm going to go ahead and add some Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine in red. I believe the name of this one was Cherry Red. I'm not positive. I don't think you can get it anymore anyway, but it's red. So I cover up my pictures because I am horrible with splatters and I always end up with it everywhere. I also covered up my little hen there. I didn't want her to be splashed in red and look like she was on her way to the dumpling pot. So I just added the splatters there. I'm going to show you my end pictures here. However, I did go back in with some of the stars from the Simple Stories chipboard pack and add 3 stars. Those are there in the final pictures. And that's it for me today. I hope you will hop along with everyone playing along with Scraplift Crafternoon and Woodgrain in Winter. I do have playlists down below in the description box, so I hope you will check those out. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing. If you have not, leaving me comments, it is all very much appreciated, and we will see you again next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.